CalledOut Music.
Hello.
Karibu Kenya, man.
Hey, thank you. Asante.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
Thank you very much, man.
I first saw you video, and I think the one video that stuck with me was Love Around.
Wow.
I was telling someone some minutes ago, I think even if I was not born again, I'd still jump to that song. It's really got some cool beats, yeah?
That's so cool, man. Thank you.
Glad to have you. Glad to have you in Kenya.
It's an honor. It's been a very, very long time coming since we started planning with my team, with the bro Noel. Everything is just, time flies when you're having fun, you know.
Yeah.
It's been a long time, but it's gone quickly because I've been looking forward to it, you know. So it's good to be here.
CalledOut is definitely not your name.
yeah, no.
What's your real name, maybe?
My name is Samuel.
Oh, Samuel. So how did you transition from Samuel to CalledOut?
I just think it's something that I didn't want the music to be about me. So it was my way of deflecting all of the attention from myself.
Okay.
So I wanted to pick a name that people can identify with.
Okay.
You know, you're called out, I'm called out, everybody's called out. So that's why I went with CalledOut.
And when you look at CalledOut, it seems like it's not an individual thing.
Yes,
like
exactly.
It's a band, it's a group of guys. So do you do this alone, or do you have a team you work with?
Behind every person who's doing something successfully, there's always a group of people supporting. You know, my manager, my team, HFP, the label, every producer I work with. You know, there's a group of people who really put a lot of time and energy to making CalledOut what it is today. You know, and especially the listeners, people who actually take time to listen to the music. You know, I can't be more grateful for that. And obviously behind everything, Jesus is at the center of everything. So yeah, CalledOut is just everything put into one.
Wow. So define now with all these things put together.
Yeah.
How could you define CalledOut? Who is CalledOut? Or what does CalledOut stand for?
So CalledOut is from 1 Peter 2 verses 9. So we're a chosen generation, holy nation. And it goes on to say we've been called out of darkness into light. So for me, when I read that, I realized that I have been set apart. I have been chosen by God to serve Him. And as a Christian, I'm going through that phase where I go from not knowing about Jesus to knowing about Jesus to then living for Jesus. So it's a process, you know, and everybody goes through that process. So CalledOut, that's why I said you're called out, I'm called out, because in our own different ways, we're going through the same process. And it's beautiful because there's people all over the world going through the same thing like you are, you know.
And were you always a Christian? Were you born like I normally say? I happen to be born in a Christian home, really Christian home.
Really,
if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And at times I make jokes and my mother got me. She didn't say thanks God it's a baby boy. I kind of believe that she broke into tongues or something and just started worshiping God. So I was Christian even before I was myself. So what about yourself?
Same. As far as I can remember, I used to go to church every day. And I always make this joke. I used to go to church from Sunday to Saturday. Wow. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I was in church after school every single day. You know, my parents they were preachers, so they used to go from church to church preaching the gospel, and they still do. So I grew up knowing about God. But it's different knowing about God and knowing who He is. Yeah.
True.
Bible verses. I knew the scriptures. I knew the right things to say. You know, Christianese.
Christianese,
you know, so I'm quite fluent in Christianese.
So you speak Christianese as a language?
Yes, that's my second language.
Perfect. Amazing.
So it was all until 2015, 2014 that I started to ask myself questions. You know, I was like, what am I doing? Who am I? What am I becoming? You know, what type of person do I want to be? And it was after that I started to take my faith a lot more seriously. You know, asking my parents questions like, hey Dad, why do you love Jesus so much? You know, what has He done for you? Because my family went through different phases of extreme wealth and extreme poverty. And all through those, my parents never lacked. They never seemed like they were stressed. They never seemed like they were worried. And as a kid growing up, I used to think, but we don't have anything. Why are you still happy? You know, and my parents always had this belief that Jesus was going to come through. And when He eventually brought us back, it made sense to me that for Jesus to have been enough for my parents through those different seasons, then He must be something worth, you know, having. So that's what I started asking. And I got serious with Christ.
So that's the point you actually got born again?
on the 28th of October 2015. That's when I...
Wow, my birthday is on 22nd, so...
Oh wow, look at that.
October is a big month for both of us.
That's when I got back. That's when I was in uni, and my pastor at university, being baptized, and I said, what's the big deal, you know? Like, you know, I love God, He loves me, what else, you know? But I got baptized, and from that moment, and you know, it's quite symbolic, because before Jesus did anything, He got baptized.
True.
And it was just so funny, because before Called Out started gathering pace and it got really, really serious, I got baptized, but it's not something I did on purpose. It's just something I look back now and I think it was after when I got baptized that things started kicking off. And perhaps that's symbolic in itself, but I would encourage any other Christian out there who's maybe listening to this who doesn't know if they should or should not, prayerfully ask God about it and be convinced and go ahead and get baptized.
So you're saying at that point of your baptism is when now you decided, or rather you made the decision to go into music?
I always wanted to do music, always. Even I just didn't know how serious it was going to get. I didn't know how soon it would happen. I knew eventually, even though I was working full-time, I knew I was going to make music full-time at some point. I just didn't know when. But after the baptism, I started asking myself questions like, how can I serve God in ministry? And because He gave me a gift of music, I was like, okay, let me go with this and just praise God, worship God. That's all I wanted to do.
Then now you decided to go into music. Did you sing in church? Did you minister in the worship team? I mean, you're a pastor's child, I believe.
Yes.
And there's this thought in the streets that as a pastor's child, you're equipped for everything. So that day you go to church on Sunday and there is no worship leader, you're the worship leader. When you go to church and there is no prayer leader, you're the prayer leader.
Yeah.
The drama is not in church. What you're saying, I gotta be there. So how was it for you?
It was the same. I think that's actually why I started playing the keyboard, because you know, my pops, he brought a keyboard home because in our church in Nigeria, in a state called Kaduna State. Yeah. So the keyboardist, he just ran away. He just didn't come to church one day.
That happens in Nigeria as well.
This guy, man.
It's a lot in Kenya.
Really?
Oh, yeah, sorry, not this Kenya.
Like, he just stopped coming. And then my dad brought a keyboard home from work and he said he wants to learn, because my dad wanted to learn so he could play.
Wow.
You know, because like there was no one, they didn't want to pay money. And before I knew it, I started picking it up step by step. And then my dad, because obviously my dad, he was preaching at the church, said, next Sunday my son can play. And that's how they threw me in at 7 years old, playing keys at church, and that's when it started. How
do I feel like we share this story? Because as well, personally, I've never gone to train to play keyboard.
Of course, yeah.
But this so happens, I think in the year 2005, 2006, just one Sunday. I'm also a pastor's child, by the way.
Yeah.
So this just one Sunday, and the whole worship team has already formed themselves into a band, and apparently they don't come to church. Phones are not really penetrated to Kenya, so they informed the pastor through someone that, you know what, on Sunday we are ministering in a different school, so we will be there for Sunday. So I get to church on Sunday and there's no one to play the keyboard, and I'm like, I'm just gonna do anything on that thing, just gonna bang, have some good time in church. And I've realized 15 years down the line, that's still what I do. If the keyboardist that I show up in church, I still do the same.
Yeah.
Wow. It's interesting to find out that also happens in Nigeria.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's it's I would say everything works for good.
True.
If that keyboardist didn't leave that church, maybe I wouldn't be playing right now. Maybe Called Out wouldn't be happening right. You see, like, everything happens, and it's all, sometimes at the time, I remember my dad was a bit stressed, you know, like, oh my days, how can the keyboardist go? But something beautiful came out of that, even though it's years down the line, you know. Yeah.
Wow, and here we have Called Out Music.
Yeah.
How's been the journey now after being Called Out? Because that was before Called Out was Called Out. How's it been?
It's been interesting. I'll say I've been balancing, you know, making music with growing in Christ, learning more about Him, because I think with Called Out, if there's no substance to what I'm talking about or what I'm singing about, it doesn't work. So I'm not just gonna just stand up and just sing about some vague thing or some vague love. I'm gonna sing about Jesus' love, you know. So if I don't know what I'm talking about, if I'm not reading my Bible, if I'm not praying, I won't have something to stand in front of people and talk about. So that's been the biggest challenge, I'll say, making sure, like, when I write lyrics, not just writing it. You know, some people can live double lives.
True.
You know, you can be one person behind closed doors and you can be a minister. So So that's been the hardest thing for me, making sure that I'm the same person, both on and off.
So do you sing full time, or you have another career back?
Right now I'm full time. Right now, yeah.
Wow. I mean, bills.
God provides.
He does.
He does. Nah,
Okay.
honestly, it's one of those situations where God has been so amazing. I think God wouldn't. When God pushes you to something, He makes room for you, and He's made funds available through the label as well. You know, HFP Music, and they've been super supportive as well. So yeah, God does provide a lot for me. Obviously, I worked in finance for a long time, so I did save up a lot of money. And despite that, through traveling, through touring, through music releases, God provides a lot, more than enough for me.
More than enough.
More than enough.
So do you have a family, or thinking about getting one, or who's your family? Is called out plus, or you just called alone?
Well, at the moment, I just finished uni not too long ago, so I'm with my parents at the moment. Love having parents around who support me and push me. So yeah, that's how we're rolling.
As it is right now, you have been called out, you and your family.
I've been called out to you and my family. Yes, sir.
So maybe you could be called out with someone. I'm just saying.
It depends how Jesus wants to take it.
But I don't want to speak for Jesus, but man of God, keep doing it. Keep doing it. So tell us a little bit about how did you settle in Kenya?
In Kenya? How did I decide to come here?
Yeah.
So a while back, I was talking to my friend Noel, Nderitu, on Instagram, and he was talking about the love and support that, was here for us. And, being in the UK, you never really realize anything else is going on around, which is why it's great to travel.
Sure.
It's always so good to travel. And my manager hit me up and he was like, look, yeah, Kenya is really popping off, we should really explore it. Obviously going past like the costs and everything, like the heart behind us coming to Kenya is really to spread the gospel.
Okay.
So everything else is secondary to us. We just want to come here and make people understand that they are loved, and they have a calling as well, and they have a purpose, and they're important, and they matter. And that's why we decided to make the long journey down here, because I want people to know that they've been called out. So everything else is secondary. Even though I had to travel miles, I'll do it all over again if I had to. People need to know this.
So you're looking back at reaching out to people?
Yes.
That's what you're having in the concert?
Yes, so it's both my concert and obviously just reminding people of God's love for them. And the funny thing is, since we started pushing the concert, a lot of people have found out about us, about Called Out. So, which is why I always say, if we didn't decide to come to Nairobi, maybe some people wouldn't have ever known I existed. So it's through, taking a step of faith, pushing on with it and saying, God, you've spoken, we're going to do this. And a lot of people have now come to understand that, we make solid Christian music, and gratefully they're coming, to the concert, and I can't be happier.
Allow me to take you a little bit back. There's a thing I should have asked. From Kaduna to the UK.
Yeah.
What happened?
So I moved from Kaduna to Abuja, and then Abuja is the capital of Nigeria. Yeah. So the reason we moved from Kaduna was there was a lot of religious warfare going on. There's something called the Sharia war, which was basically Christians, Muslims going at it. So it was very unsafe. I remember there was a couple of close calls that we had, and I think at a very young age to see people being killed for their faith really made me realize that if I'm going to be a Christian, this is a possibility. I'm not saying I look forward to that, but at the end of the day, I need to know that even right now in some places in the world, someone somewhere right now is being persecuted because they believe in Jesus. So it's a reality. So I got into the understanding, even if I didn't know God like that, I knew that if I was going to be a Christian, this would cost me some things. It could even cost me my life. So seeing that at a very young age really shaped my view of how serious this thing was. And maybe that's why I didn't really get into it until later, when I really thought, okay, this is serious, because Christianity is not a joke. It's a lifestyle. So moving to Abuja, thankfully mom got an opportunity, a job offer, and yeah, she just moved us to the UK, and that was it.
So when you went to the UK, does mom went on preaching and dad went on preaching?
Not as much, but they still get called to preach at various places, yeah.
Okay. So has your faith journey gotten better with the travel, or you still wish you were in Africa? And if you are in Africa, probably back at Kaduna or rather Abuja, now that you spoke about Christianity being a lifestyle, how do you think you'll be able to influence the space for yourself and for the kingdom and for the glory of God?
I think it doesn't really matter where you go. I think it's a mentality. You can be at any point, anywhere in the world right now. If you determine to yourself that, you know, you're going to place God first and make him a priority, you will see a difference in the way you live. So I could be in the UK, I can be in Kaduna, I can be in Abuja. If I've made a conscious effort, and the thing with Christianity is, yes, you have to be led by the Holy Spirit, but a great deal of it is you have to make a decision. And which is why I tell people, make a choice. Don't waver. Don't be hot today, cold tomorrow. Make a choice to follow Jesus. And you realize that as time passes on, you start exhibiting the fruits. People would love to be around you. People would know that you show love. You're peaceful, you're calm, you're gentle, you're meek, you're kind. All the fruits of the Spirit naturally flowing out of you. And when the fruits flow out of you, that's the best way to spread the gospel. So you don't need to climb the biggest pulpit on the planet just to talk about Jesus. You can do it with the way you live, which is the lifestyle. And so I think anywhere in the world, make a decision and just place God as priority and let him be at the top, so that everything in your life will revolve around him, you know?
I mean, you say something like Christianity was meant to be a lifestyle.
Yes.
And you're really looking like you really sold into what you do. So kindly, maybe you could take us through, how is your day like?
On a day-to-day basis.
I mean, because you talked about priorities, and
Yes,
I'm thinking,
yes.
bills got to be paid. I mean, if you live in Nairobi like I do, you'll be knowing that bills, number one, bills, you know, and you're growing up. I mean, things are happening in your life. So how is your day-to-day? What's a day like to you?
On a day-to-day basis, it depends what I'm doing. It depends what season I'm in. In a touring season like this, I wake up, pray, you know, read my plan, read my Bible, just have some quiet time, think about what I'm going to do in the day. Obviously setting my priorities first of all. And then come out, chill with the team, chill with my manager, chill with my the band. Just have fellowship together, wherever we're doing, whether we're eating or just having some fun. And then we go tour, minister to people. Excuse me. That's during the tour, and then we come back and then pray again. So I literally try to live as much as I can, being led by the Holy Spirit. When I'm not touring, I'll say the same procedure: wake up, you pray, you know, you shower, you get ready for the day, you know, go through some emails, go through some admin stuff, you know, with my team, with my label, see where I need to be and start planning ahead, whether it's a song release or I've got a production day or a songwriting day. So that's how usually the bills are paid, because, you know, I'm a songwriter as well, thank God, and I'm a producer as well.
So you write your own music?
Yes, and I produce my own music.
Wow.
So we're also delve into production for other people as well. So there's loads of ways to be comfortable, I would say. So my day is usually quite hectic, but at the same time it's fun because I love what I do.
You love what you do. And for me, how did you even imagine, or how did you choose to just do CCM, contemporary Christian music? Because I'm listening to your songs and I'm thinking, this song, like in Nairobi, will really easily be played in any other radio station because it's a good job. How did you settle on your genre of music?
That's something that's always been, like, I think I don't take credit for that. I think that's just how the inspiration has come. Every time I sit down to make music, I just want to make something that anybody can listen to and enjoy. The message is always going to be the same. It's always going to be about Jesus. It's always going to be about Christ. But the music itself, I want anyone to listen to it and be able to enjoy it. So with that being said, I always told the team, like, I want our music to be played on mainstream radio. You know, I think it's possible. Why not? Every other music is played on mainstream radio. Why not Christian music? And being on radio yesterday with Homeboys, they literally had an entire hour playing Christian music because I was there and they were playing my song on there. I was just like, wow, this is absolutely amazing, you know? This is what I've always wanted. And yeah, like you said earlier, like with Love Around, where you feel like even non-Christians can listen to it as well. That's the beauty of it, because I've had DMs from Muslims and they just keep taking in the words because music is so powerful as well. It could be the catalyst for something, you know.
So how do you write your music?
I just flow.
Do you have like seasons where Mondays for me I go to write music, Tuesdays I go to the studio to produce?
Nah. I have a setup at my house, so I'm always writing. every time I get an idea, I lay it down. So we probably write about 4, 5, 6 songs a week. Just vibing, just, you know, producing, feeling it. I feel like the best music is the ones that you feel. If you don't feel it, you won't enjoy it. And I always want to create music that I can enjoy doing live, you know? So.
Are there songs that you have done that you've never produced because you didn't like them?
That I didn't release?
Feel them, yeah, you didn't release them.
Interesting story. Yeah, this because my manager's here right now. There's a song that we put out that I didn't like for a long time. It's not like I didn't like it, I just didn't think it was me. And that song was Love Around.
No kidding.
Seriously. Love Around.
No kidding.
No, nah, seriously, I didn't like Love Around.
I mean, the hoodies,
no.
the video, you know, that video is a movie.
It's a great video, it's a great song.
But why?
I just didn't feel like it was me at the time. This was before, this is not now. Now I believe it. So my manager was saying, dude, this is an amazing song, what are you doing? You like it? And I was like, I just didn't feel it. You're like, we've released songs like My Prayer, where instantly I felt it. Your Mind, instantly I felt it. Love Around just took me a bit of time to understand, and now I think it's because I didn't understand the song itself. You know, a lot of times we release music and I don't even understand the impact of the song or the true meaning of it until one day we did the song live. I think it was in Paris, the first time we went to Paris. And we did it live, and just seeing the way people connected with it so much, it made me really think like, this song is actually deeper than I thought initially, especially when it's the end bit where it says all of my scars, all of my pain. It's a lot deeper, because when I was writing it, I was just flowing. Like I said, I just flow, I just vibe. But when I actually took time to listen to the song again, I was like, oh my gosh, this song is literally my life. This is the gospel, this is God's love. And since then, something just happened, and now I just love doing Love Around every time.
Love Around. I wish you had your guitar. Some kids here just sing that. I honestly love that song.
Thank you.
And I would listen to it again and again. Also, Yahweh does it for me.
Yeah.
Basically, your music is God.
Thank you.
And keep it here. So what would you say to someone who is gonna watch this and is gonna ask, he looks like he's really happy together and he's kept his faith onto Jesus and he's managed his music correctly.
Yeah.
But I'm here, I have no clue where to start, where to begin. I would want to be like him. And also in the same, tied to the same, do you mentor people, people who look up to you? What can they really look up to? What would they get if they did?
Wow. That's a full question. To anyone who's trying to go into this, I would say be sure. Be 100% sure you're meant to do it. Because there's nothing more frustrating than doing something that you're not meant to do, because it just won't work. So I always encourage people, be sure, pray about it, ask God for confirmation. And when you've got that out of the way, just get going. I remember I started Called Out with nothing else but a broken laptop and a keyboard from church. That's where it started from, because I knew God had called me to this. So I knew he was going to make way for me. So that's the big thing, just start. Don't be afraid. If you need in the day and age we live in today, you can shoot a video on an iPhone. Like almost like this is the best time to start things because everything is so available for you. Just be free. Make sure your social media, which is also a great tool. Social media has been amazing for me as an artist. Because there's people around the world who will connect with you. Just get going, start. Keep God at the center and find someone who you can talk to. So for me, my manager is someone I can always trust in. I need someone who believes in the music as much as I do. And I think it's important for every artist to have that one person that they have who's also on their side, because it can get lonely as well. And the reason a lot of people quit is because they really don't have people to go through the journey with them. So I would just say, just prayerfully surround yourself with like-minded people and just get going. And find someone who can like mentor you, almost maybe someone who's done it before. At the moment, I haven't mentored yet, just because there's still some things I need to get right. However, I'm always open to answer questions because I feel like mentoring is a whole different calling on its own. Like you have to be dedicated to it. But at the moment, I always try my best to be at panel events, answering questions, praying with people when they feel low, because I've been doing Called Out for 3 years and it's been tough. It's a short time, but it's been very, very tough to navigate through. But I will always say, just keep God at the center, because there's no better feeling than knowing your relationship with Jesus Christ is solid, you know, because it helps.
So where can people get your music?
We're all over the place, man. I feel like I'm a bit of a pest, actually. So every platform, Spotify, iTunes, Deezer, everywhere. There's Boomplay, I think, is the one. Yeah, massive. We're on Boomplay as well, Tidal, everywhere. Just type in CalledOut Music and you'll be flooded with it. And there's more to come as well. So
we expect something from you?
Yeah.
Maybe something was sparked in Nairobi?
We'll see. To be honest, I wanted to do something special for everyone coming tonight.
Okay.
So if whoever's coming tonight should expect something really, really sweet.
Thank you for coming to Nairobi. We hope to have you again.
Yes, sir.
And again.
Yes, sir.
And again. I hope anyone who's going to watch this and is going to slide into your DM. In Kenya, we call it sliding into DMs. So if you slide into your DM, we hope to have a conversation and we hope to have a journey with you. Personally, I love the fact that you're a pastor's child and still holding on to the faith. I kid you not, it's not easy. And thank you for working with Let Music Preach. Thank you for coming to Kenya.
So good, man.
Thank you for doing what you're doing for the kingdom. You have no idea, but I'm sure there are people out there who hear and listen to your music and they are really, really impressed.
Amen.
May the Lord honor you. May the Lord refresh you and give you the strength for tonight.
Amen.
Once again, Samuel.
Thanks, bro.
It was nice having you.
I appreciate
God bless
it.
you.
Thank you. Hello everyone, it's your boy CalledOut Music, and right now you're watching Let Music Preach on the YouTube. Hey, don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. God bless you.